Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Kovacs here, and our learning for Erev Shabbat Chaye Sarah is in Bava Batra, chapter 4, Perek HaMocher, about selling stuff, what's included, Mishnayot 5 and 6 today. Here's Mishnah Hey Mocher et Beit Habad. He sold the olive press, not Beit Habad. Chabad is different. Baruch Hashem for Chabad. This is the olive press, Beit Habad. Macher et Hayam. It includes the ocean. This refers to a large vat, which is either for storing the olives to soften before you press them, or storing the pressed product itself. Bet hamamal, that's the stone to crush the olives so they are broken open and can be crushed in the press itself more readily, and the oil will flow more easily. Et ha-betulot. Betulot is the twin maidens. These are vertical poles that hold up and center the beam that's used to press down on the olives. In some of the Mishnayot Shabbat, there's actually illustrations of this Beit Habad, this olive press, how it was done in ancient times. And actually in Eretz Yisrael, there's some people who have rebuilt these things based on the description in the Mishnah and the Masorah and the tradition about how to do this. So there are some examples that people have built in Eretz Yisrael of this equipment. Anyway, the Mishnah goes on, Avalo machar et achirim. The achirin are the side beams to support the main beam, veta galgal, not the wheel or the corkscrew, which is used to turn and lower the beam, veta kora, and the kora is a large beam. This refers to the very large, kind of huge log, like picture a telephone pole kind of thing, that was used to do the actual, the main force of the crushing was through the gravity of this beam and through hanging additional weights off the far end of it to put more pressure on the olives. Bizman she'amar lo, but when the seller told him who, the press itself, v'chol ma shebatocho, everything in it, Hare chulan mechorin, then everything is actually included, even these items that are technically movable, but once you include everything, they come with. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, he disagrees. He says, Hamocher Beit Habad, machar et kora. If you sold the Beit Habad, you've always sold the kora. Again, that's the main, heavy, large beam that does most of the work to actually crush the olives. So you can't really have a Beit Habad without a kora anyway, so he says that's always included no matter what the seller said. On to Mishnah Vav, HaMocher et merhatz. He sold the bathhouse. Lo machar et nisarim. He didn't sell the boards. Now, these are boards that were put on top of the floor to make it easier to walk on, because sometimes the floor is wet, and sometimes the floor was heated with fires underneath the floor to, warm up the room with heating under the floorboards. I actually saw this in the bathhouse on Masada. You can see that the floor had spaces to put fire or hot coals underneath. Mishnah adds at the safsolim, and not the benches you sit on, they're movable. At the viloyot or vilonot, and not the curtains for privacy. Bizmanja amar lo, but if you told them hu v'chol ma shebatocho, the bathhouse and everything in it, harei chulan mechorin, then all of these items, even though they're movable and removable, are included in the sale because they serve the bathhouse. Benkach, but in any event, no matter what he stipulated, lo machar lo et hamegurot shel maim, he didn't sell the reservoir of water. This is sort of the big holding tank or pond that's outside of the bathhouse itself, but is used to top off the bathhouse. V'lo et otzrot shel eitzim, and not the sheds of wood, not the wood shed. Again, this is outside of the bathhouse, but they would use the wood to fuel the fires to warm up the water on the floor. So in the Gemara, they explained these items do serve the bathhouse, but the seller could also use them for his own private use in his own home anyway, so they're not included in a sale of the bathhouse. Again, of course, unless they had the lawyers put it in the contract. Yashar kochachem, good Shabbos.